Hey, it's Dan popping by to answer a few of your emails that we've got in over the past couple of weeks. And by the way, if you want to get in touch with us at any stage confidentially, or indeed ask any questions, use the email and we'll look at all emails and we'll process them and we'll pick out some that will give answers to people. Got 5 to look at today. First one here from Tony: is Jay Slater still alive? Well, there's always a possibility that Jay Slater is alive, but the chances are it is highly unlikely. The people that believe that he is alive are the same people that believe that Michael Jackson and Elvis is alive. So if you see them anytime soon, there's always hope, I guess. But I think, to put that little theory to bed, it's highly unlikely that Jay Slater is alive. And that question came from Tony. Thanks, Tony, for that. Next one is from Jackie: are the remains found in the ravine definitely belonging to Jay Slater? Nobody knows is the current answer, and it's the only answer. It has been suggested in many places that it's not, and it looks, on a lot of evidence that's been sifted through, that the remains found are certainly questionable and could be belonging to somebody else. But of course, we've had so many things happen after that I'm afraid trying to find the truth is very difficult at the best times, because everything was done so quickly, so fast, and it raises more questions than answers. But I think, going on the balance of probabilities and looking at what is after happening and looking at the case in total, because it really is tissue of lies from start to finish, and finding the truth is really an impossible task. And what people are saying is one thing, but finding the truth is what we all want to find. I think overall it is highly questionable that the remains that were found in that so-called ravine belong to Jay Slater. It is highly questionable that those remains that were found in the ravine, that nobody seems to be talking about, but they'll talk about everything else, which is strange to say the least. But those remains are very questionable, and I wouldn't be at all a bit surprised if those remains were not belonging to Jay Slater. Of course, we have so many conspiracy theories running around there that little makes sense, but the question is, why was it done so fast? Remains and regarding the fingerprints were totally out of sync, and the body being found and the remains being found after that length of time, 28 days, would suggest no fingerprints were taken, and if they were, they would really be very questionable. But it remains to be seen. Personally, I don't think the remains are belonging to Jay Slater, but that's just a personal opinion. I'd like to know what you think. That is all important, but and even more surprising is people are not even talking about it, which is very strange, if not odd. Anyway, moving on to another question. Question 3 from Matthew. Thanks, Matthew. Who holds the key to the case of Lucy? And I think Lucy certainly is involved, and she has a lot of information. Does she hold the key? I'm sure she does. She's got lots of information. Whether or not she's going to reveal the truth is another matter. Hasn't been done so far, and if it's going to come out, maybe it will not come out from her. But maybe that's going to be for another day. But certainly she does hold the key. She is one of the people that were one of the last people to see Jay Slater, and it is imperative for people like these to tell the truth, but of course they won't. They're only interested in money and drugs and everything that goes with it, and a good life. But you know, this is what people lay out their stall, and when you come from a background of drug dealers and crime, it's very hard to change, but you never know. But it's a question people will keep asking. Is she involved? Well, whether she's involved or not, she certainly knows more than she's letting on. But like everything, the chain of command in this case is long, and like everything, you only need one link to be weak and to come out and squeal and tell the truth. And believe it or not, that will happen sooner rather than later. People are under the impression that a case like this for Jay Slater can be solved a bit like a Blue Bloods episode, where the crime happens and it's solved within 60 minutes. It doesn't work like that in the real world, and for people who think it does, they're clearly living in utopia. But the truth will emerge in this, by the way. It may take longer than people think, but there's clearly a need for people to get the truth, and very few people want to know the truth. And I've noticed in recent weeks that it's dwindling by the day. But that's not to say the truth won't come out, and it will. But that is a very, very good question. Thank you, Matthew, for that. Moving quickly along, question 4. Why are the Slaters so quiet? Your guess is as good as mine. Have they been got at? Have they just decided, look, what's after happening has been horrific and it's time to put it behind them and move on? That is something that only them can answer, but it's a bit surprising that they're not banging the drum and saying, we want justice for our son. I do think that if it was anybody else's son, and if it happened to your son, you would be banging on every drum to get justice, whether it's newspapers, media, or else. You would go to the ends of the earth to find it. And why the Slaters are not doing it, I'm afraid you can speculate all you want, but it's up for them to decide and say if they are going to say. And of course, to date, they have stayed very silent. And of course, it's very surprising that the likes of Warren, who of course has been one of the few to question all this evidence, which is far from fair and getting more dodgier by the day, hasn't spoke out more. But at least he has spoken out, but the rest haven't. But there's clearly a barrier between both, and maybe things are not as easy, and maybe they're not on the same page. But that is all for another day. Only for them can answer that. We're not going to go down the route of banging the drum about the GoFundMe page. We've said it often enough. There's no need to go there anymore. It's for those people to close it, and it can be done. You don't have to wait 2 years to do it. Either one of the two people involved who set it up and is scheduled to get the money, they can close that inside 2 weeks. It's not 2 years. But that's, as I say, for another day. Finally, the question comes from John. Thank you, John. And we got through so many. Keep your emails coming. We may do this again if you want it and you find it beneficial anyway, because the last thing I want to do is rake over old ground. Was Jay Slater set up? Well, it certainly looks that way, because we know for certain he didn't want to go to that festival in Tenerife. He was encouraged to go by a lot of people, including Lucy, who had ample reason for him to go, and was putting that carrot on a stick at the end with offers like money and more on offer. And indeed, his own family, Debbie, wanted him to go to the festival as well, which is a question for another day. But was Jay Slater set up? He certainly was. I think he was naive. Was he wrong to do it? Hindsight is easy, of course. But look, when you're a teenager and there's money on offer and there's a good life and there's lots more to go with it, it's very easy to get tempted. And it's very hard to say no. So no one is going to blame Jay Slater, but was he set up? I certainly think he was, because if you sift through all the evidence, and I mean all the evidence, it's really horrific from start to finish. You're not getting the truth. It's all lies. It's all bullshit. It's all being put together by a bunch of people with lots of money and lots of drugs, and they don't really care, because life goes on and they'll keep making money, because that's all they want. That's all they care about. They don't care about people. They don't care about people as insignificant as Jay Slater to stand up and to get justice against him. They will continue to go and get their ill-gotten gains. They're involved in so many different things apart from drugs. They really don't care. And it's been said who is involved. And these people are at the top. These people are not down here at the bottom, small fry, making money here, there, and everywhere. These people are making millions and not making 30 or 40 quid. So, you know, all this filters down from the top, and there's lots of people involved. Have been paid off along the way. Media have been silenced. Others have been silenced. People in top positions have been silenced. Work it out for yourself. And it's really a scandal that nobody seems to take seriously anymore. But really and truly, we'd love to hear your comments. Drop us an email. Here's the email. If you want to remain confidential, that's not a problem. If you want us to mention your name, we can do so, but entirely up to you. We're not going to name your full name, but you can stay anonymous if you wish. But all in all, we really do want to get justice for Jay Slater. That's why we're here. We have so many people saying we're doing it for clicks. Not true. We're not interested in clicks. If you want to be part of this channel, please do so on your own terms. We're here for justice and justice alone. People are also under the impression we're here to make money. I can tell you for certain, money is the last thing that we want. Money can't buy justice for Jay Slater, and I certainly don't want money because I've earned nothing, absolutely nothing from YouTube or anyone else, and I don't want it. And all I want is to find justice for Jay Slater, because that is the least thing that he deserves, and I'm sure everyone would agree with that. That's our look at it for now. Thanks for taking part. Your comments would be welcome, your emails especially, and don't forget to like, share and subscribe, because it helps more people find our channel. We'll catch you next time. Have a great day.